Don't lead.
Hypothetically.
Please. Don't lead on.
If she,
Okay.
you understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but
didn't know,
you're leading into questions that are nothing with your...
if you didn't know though.
Wait, Nick.
Part of a thorough investigation at a very early stage is creating a timeline. What time did the husband leave? Where was the wife? Where were the children at these particular times? And they're really starting to fill in those gaps.
Investigators do know is Shanann was dropped off at home at 2 a.m. Monday morning after a business trip. Her husband says he left work around 5 a.m. In between, Watts said he and his wife had an emotional conversation.
34-year-old Shanann Watts, 4-year-old Bella, and 3-year-old Celeste were last seen on Monday in Frederick, just north of Denver.
Shanann Watts, 15 weeks pregnant, and her 2 young daughters, Celeste and Bella, suddenly missing without a trace early Monday morning. Christopher Watts made an emotional appeal for his family's return.
A mysterious disappearance, leaving a pregnant mother and her children gone.
I don't think, he made it sound like he didn't know like what friend's house she would be at. And I remember talking to him and I was like, well, maybe it's that Nikki girl. And he's like, well, Nikki called the cops, so why would she be at Nikki's house? I'm like, I don't know, kind of throws her off the trail of where she's at, you know? And it's like, it sounds kind of weird, but it's like, he really made this sound like this woman was just like upset, left the house. And that was probably what he thought happened to her. And so I didn't really put too much like...
Did he tell you the kids were missing as well?
Yes, I knew. I mean, which made sense to me because I was like, well, if you were at work all day...
If he can get away with murder, you're not gonna... I got divorced from my wife. You see? Do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone...
But this...
Don't lead.
Hypothetically.
Please. Don't lead on.
If she...
Okay.
You understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but
didn't know...
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your...
If you didn't know, though...
Wait, Nick.
That she was there.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you. I just want her to answer a question that...
relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, that he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on
night.
Sunday.
We're
gonna get to.
This is gonna be a long.
We're gonna get there to Monday. We're getting there. So Sunday night,
And I told him, I was like, one day if I ever meet your kids, I was like, I'm gonna show these girls how to like paint pottery and plants. It was like, I think they would love to see something grow that they built. I think it would be really.
Isn't it time he told the truth, and isn't that the only way he's ever going to get his case reassessed? I don't like saying stuff like that over the phone because I'm near certain they screen my calls. I know I already told you about the vision I had before August 13th when I was laying in bed and all the lights were on in the loft, and downstairs I felt so, I think that says alone. That's exactly what happened, okay? So is he saying there that he's seen a vision? Is that some kind of justification for what happened? Well, in that case, we're talking about some kind of mental instability or mental illness. I'm not sure if I want this in the book, but here are the things I left out. So presumably these are the things he left out from the Wisconsin confession with the police officers. So maybe that's what he means by there's more to this story. So let's go through it. August 12th, when I finished putting my girls to bed, I walked away and said that's the last time I'm going to be tucking my babies in. So premeditation. Well, there's another aggravating fact.
I was put my lunchbox and stuff in the truck, and then grabbed the kids and I put them in the bench seat in the back.
Okay. So just tell me your conversation with Chris when you show up.
I walked in and then he asked what kind of pizza I liked because he was gonna order me and the girls pizza for dinner. So he got on the phone and ordered them pizza. He gave them their medicine before he left because he didn't want me to have to worry about that.
He was saying like he likes to like stay there for a little while he doesn't just like walk out the door when they show up. It's like a transitional thing. And so that's why I'm saying I didn't know that.
Let's go just back to him and the financial. He tells you, he has a concern enough to at least express something to you that he's frustrated with the way she spends, or he's upset with working so hard and never having any money, and she's kind of the responsible party for spending most of the money.
I pretty much got that vibe. I mean, he just told me, he's like, we're house broke all the time. I was just like, that's unfortunate. And I asked him, I was like, do you have 401k? And he was like, yeah. And I mean, the reason I ask him this is because if I get in a relationship with somebody, I want to know, like, what kind of baggage that they have. I think that's important if I walk into a situation where I'm like, hey, I have good credit and I have all these things that I've been building and you don't have your stuff together, like, what are we going to do with this? And it's important for...
Is there anything he could have done? Maybe, maybe not. When Shanann had to be somewhere, I always enjoyed taking the girls, playing outside because it was our opportunity to bond. And still, even the night before, I wouldn't stop myself from what I knew would occur the next morning. He knew it would occur the next morning. He planned it. August the 13th, I went to the girls' room first before Shanann and I had our argument. So he wanted to get rid of his kids even before the argument with Shanann. So when people say, well, Shanann told him that he was never going to see the girls again if they divorced, because they both agreed that they were separating. Well, that's not true, is it? If we're taking this confession as the truth, then he wanted his girls dead first. You can't use the argument as the reason why it all went wrong.